Welcome everyone to the second live video. We are going to be talking today about Stag Culture, about Chapter 2 that we end up releasing the videos last Saturday actually because we published behind the scenes. And the Chapter 2, it happened all in Gredos. We moved from Madrid to the Gredos Mountains. I hunted with my dad and it was a pure mountain hunt in the Gredos range. We slept on a hut. And it was pretty special, and I think a lot of you guys really enjoyed the video because of the connection with my dad and how we were able to share that experience together. And it was pretty nice to just not be the hunter myself, but to share the hunt also with people that you care. And that's a hunt that I did a couple years before, and I really wanted my dad to do that hunt because I think it was a true mountain stag hunt and very special. I think the fact of starting down there, sleeping on a hut, that they have the hut really well prepared now, not back then when I hunted a couple of years ago, but now they have even little beds. It's a small hut, but great experience to walk out of the door already on the top of the mountain, and you are in ibex country, and it's pretty special hunt. So I really told my dad, you need to make it. The hunt started super nice. I mean, there was several stags roaring. We were using horses, and one of you guys asked about how good is the use of horses. And I think in this case, and in a lot of mountain hunts, the horse is not to take you up, but more to carry all your weight, so you don't have to carry the weight to the base camp. It takes a lot of weight out of your backpack, so the food and all the supplies for those couple of days were taken by the horse. That way we could go lighter on the hunt. And it was something that it was really nice because at the end it turned out to be a pretty tough couple of days. So, ¿todo bien? The hunt started nice. I mean, we had several stags roaring, and I think one of it was a clear example of how important it is to understand the animal behavior in order to hunt it smarter. I think we tend a lot of times to hunt stags. We hear them and we try to go straight to them, or we try to call them right away. And in this case, Manolo, which is the guide from that area, knew where the stags were going to bed, what the stag's territory was. And that helped us. Instead of, we were calling the stag, it was 400 something, so it was a long shot. And I think part of the beauty about stag hunting is to try to get as close as possible. Sometimes in the mountains, you cannot get closer because of the forest, but 400 meters for my dad and for me, it's a shot that the equipment can definitely take. The equipment is prepared to take even farther shots, but it was something that we didn't want to. We wanted to wait for a nicer opportunity. And since the stag at that distance, and since the stag was with females, the stag was replying to us very nicely. You could, and there was a lot of communication, but that stag is never going to leave the females to go chase another stag. I mean, he has the females right by his side. He's not going to leave that. So what we did is to circle around. We kind of knew where the stag kind of bed down every after during the middle of the day, and to try to go around, get closer to the bedding area of that stag, and make and call him in, trying to sound like a stag getting inside his territory. That's the moment when the stag. It took us 2 roars to get that stag come to this side of the hill and get into shooting range. It was super quick. And that's because he felt the threat. He felt like maybe someone was getting inside his territory, and that's why he came, and it appeared to 250. I think when we called in, nobody was really didn't have that much trust on my calling at that point. And when we called in and the stag appeared in like 1 minute after the first couple of roars, we got super excited. We panicked, like it's right there. My dad took the shot, and we thought that it was a perfect shot. And that's really important, that even if the first feeling is, you have a first feeling when someone takes a shot, to analyze it properly and to try to don't take anything for granted, because I think Samuel and Manolo, which are the guys from Cada Planeta, they both said like it was a perfect shot. It's gonna die right there, and we all got that mode of like, okay, that was a perfect shot. The stack move jumped. I mean, and we all wanted that perfect shot to happen, so we kind of thought it happened as we wanted. And the truth is that when we got there was barely no blood. We couldn't find it, and I mean, we tracked that animal for 3 hours up and down, and we couldn't find any sign more than just a couple of drops. And it was back then when we started analyzing the shot. Jack and Lewis, for first time ever, they were right about their feeling, and they said like, we thought that because they were watching with the bigger camera, that the shot went low, and we were like, nah, and we just, after 3 hours, left. And it was only when we dropped that footage on our phone and we were able to slow it down when things started to make sense. And what we saw is that the shot barely clipped the bottom leg of the stag, and it was just like a flesh wound, and it was not a vital shot. But and it all makes sense, because the thing is that my dad, it's 72, and he's super old school. He has never shot with a ballistic tower in his life. He doesn't feel the need. His main caliber typically it's a 7mm mag. So for the distances he hunt, it's basically up to 250, 300. You are all the time on the kill zone, because the 7mm is like a flatter trajectory. But for this hunt, we were using one of the different rifle, which was the Sauer 101, the XTC, the carbon one, on a 308 caliber, which the drop, it's way different than the 7mm. So if you consider an old school guy using a different caliber, using a different scope, my dad never considered like a 250 stag. The kill zone is pretty high, so he never considered that the rifle was going to drop so much, and he didn't consider that the rifle was set the 0 at 100, because when you have the ballistic tower and you can mark the different positions of the turret, you can set the 0 at 100, and if the animal is at 250, you just move it up or down. And he had the turret at 200 meters, and those 50 difference, or that difference in the distance made the bullet drop more than what he thought, and he just missed it underneath. Of course, it was my fault. It was the rifle fault. Why we were using that rifle instead of his, he would have missed with his rifle, and it's true. And it's probably I should have been more on top of him to make sure that he was using the ballistic tower properly and putting the right distance on the scope. And I'm not sure, and I would love to know on the comments if you guys are huge fan of the ballistic towers. Not, we typically don't shoot above 350 meters. So we are in that range that really it's really needed, or we are just wasting too much time sometimes adjusting the scope. Well, if you know the drop of the bullet, you could probably guess and estimate a drop very easily and make and way faster. That being said, we still call the AEPES, which is the Blood Tracking Association. So in Spain there is a Blood Tracking Association. I don't know if in the States or in other countries. I know in Europe there are several associations of tracking dogs, and it's a group. At the end, it's a group of passionate blood tracking guys that really spend time with their dogs, training dogs, and making sure that they are proficient with what they do. And when you call them, they come free of charge. Typically, sometimes they charge like the cost of the fuel and all that, but it's not like an association that people pay trackers to come. It's just like more volunteers that want to help people recover the game and to try to make all the efforts possible to leave as less game as possible in the field when they're wounded. So we still call them. Two guys came, which I can thank them enough. and they also put the dogs on the tracks of the stag, and were able to track it. I think up to 1 kilometer they found on a river, just like a tiny drop, but they both said that the stag didn't have a lethal shot, which was really refreshing, because you never want to wound an animal, but if you wound it, to know that it's not a lethal shot, it's just really refreshing. But it was at that point really frustrating for the project, because you put all your effort, you put all your will to make this project happen as good as possible, and suddenly a wounded stag, can't find it. My dad wounds a stag, we can find it. So suddenly the beginning of the project was like, I told Jack and Lewis, it's like, this is a disaster. I don't know how we are going to share this story, because we cannot share that we are just, it was little mistakes. It's true that it's a real hunt, but it's like, we are wounding, or this is not working well. So I don't know, we better get our things together and work hard to change how the project has started. But it's what it is, and at the end, it's real hunting, and that's what was part of the whole project, to share you the real hunts, and probably many of you guys have been in a similar situation before. That day, for you guys to have an idea, it's true that probably we did way more than what we needed, because of the tracking of the stag, that it was just like going up and down, trying to see the bottom of the river, trying to get to the other side of the slope of the hill, to see that face from a different perspective. We did all that we could to recover the stag, but we did 1,400 meters in positive elevation, which is a lot. So I don't know if you guys use like a watch or something to track your elevation gain, the positive one, but it's really important to have an understanding on the ground you're covering, to measure your energy and to make sure that you're going to be able to arrive on camp or back to the car with enough energy and at the right time. And we did 1,400, which is like very few times you did that elevation gain on a hunting scenario. You can do it by hiking, but when you are like glassing and looking for game, that's a lot. And especially for my dad, it was a huge physical effort for the start. And that's when he started developing like knee pain. That being said, we slept on the hut. It was amazing. It's true that the area has lost a little bit of hunting ground, because there was a severe fire right before the start of the trip, which we actually panicked, because Alberto, the owner of the area, he called me and he's like, okay, the area that we were about to hunt is on fire, and we are not sure if everything is going to get burned, and we may have to cancel the first destination. So that's typical things that you don't see, or the people don't see. But for us, for organizing such a complicated thing that we already had enough problems, when the first location of the trip it's on fire, we panic. But it's true that only part of the area was affected by the fire, which is going to be a problem for Alberto for the next couple of years, because you are not allowed by law to hunt on burnt area for 2 years, to let the terrain recover, to let the animals recover and all that. But luckily enough, we were able to still make the hunt. And on the way down that second day, because we didn't have more time, we had to go to a different area. We located a very nice stag. It was a 350 meter shot. There was no way to get closer, and the day was really bad, so it was probably the best opportunity that we had, because it was pretty windy, so we couldn't hear any of the roaring. The stags were roaring, but we couldn't hear them. So my dad took the position, adjusted the ballistic tower properly, and he made a great shot. And one of the things that we almost screwed up again, it was that we didn't took good enough references of where the stag dropped, and it took us half an hour of going back and forth trying to find that stag, and we panic again. It was like, we need to find that stag, because if we don't find it, it was already the whole project a disaster, but this is going to be, I don't know what we're going to do if we wound a third stag. That being said, everything went great. We were able to bring the stag down. The horses helped a lot to bring all that meat down, and we moved to to the next location, which is the Zamora, which is the chapter that is going to start today at 7, like in 30 minutes. We're releasing the first episode of Zamora, which we are super excited to share. And that was the things I wanted to comment from Gredos. There were several questions from YouTube and also that you guys share on Instagram that Victoria is gonna read now. That way we can answer some of those questions and maybe probably some of the questions that you guys are asking on the Instagram live, which, by the way, thank you for joining. So we are going to start by the questions from YouTube, which are those comments are the ones that are being entered on the giveaway that we are doing on every chapter. So,
what type of rifle is your dad using?
So what type of rifle? We used during the project 2 rifles. One was the Sauer 101 XTC, which is the carbon one, which is like ultra light. I'm terrible with like data. I don't have good memory, but I think it was like 3.2 kilos. So it's ultralight rifle, 308 Winchester, pretty short barrel and really nice setup with the Swarovski Sierra 8 scope and the Hornady precision hunter ammunition. And we also use, I was getting confused thinking on all the numbers. And also on the second part of the trip, I used the one that I typically use, which is the Sauer 404 XTC, also out of carbon, also from Sauer, with the Swarovski scope also, and also the Hornady precision hunter ammunition.
What stag color are you using? Is that the Hubertus?
Yeah, so the color that I'm using is the Hubertus. There are a couple of similar models, but I like the way that the Hubertus is like an extended version, which allow me to create that change on voice when calling, make that difference of noise. And I'm pretty happy with it. And it's a very compact design that I can wear here on my bino harness, so it's always out of the way. And when you really deploy it, it's super quiet, so I'm super happy with it.
Guillaume DMX, did you find the stag from day 6? And this question was sent like several times. Yeah,
that's what we explained. We are 100% sure that it was just like a superficial wound, and the stag is doing okay from the video, from the feedback from the Professional Blood Tracking Association, and from our experience. So.
DPCA 96, which camera are you using and tripod?
Yeah, a few of you guys asked. So we are using all Sony Alpha cameras, but some of the really longer distance footage was filmed on a Nikon P500. I will put it on the comments on the video because I'm not 100% sure. And the tripod is an Swarovski tripod out of carbon that they did a collaboration with Gicho, I think like 1 or 2 years ago. The tripod for that camera, you don't need that tripod for that camera because it's like heavy and very solid. But in order to film with the spotting scope, to film with the phone scope also, that we film some footage through our spotting scope with the phone. The good thing about that bipod is that super stable, and when you point at something, it will stay there. So for us that we document all our hunts, it's definitely worth it.
I have a question from Madrona70 that he saw that you are working with a Nikon P1000.
Yeah, I think that's the camera that I just talked about.
Okay. And he's saying that he's considering leaving behind his scope and bringing that camera.
So a lot of people, that Nikon camera has a lot of zoom. I think it's like 83. So you really can see and judge game at really far distances. It's a great tool for judging. My only throwback that I see is that with low light, the quality is pretty poor. So in the first hours of the day, I like personally the spotting scope, and for extended hunt, I prefer not depending on camera life or batteries and memory cards and all that, because we already have enough with our typical setup.
Robin is asking, I think I saw you carrying bullets at the bottom of your Kuyu bino harness. Is that right? And what did you use for it? Is that a Kuyu original edition?
Yeah, so the Kuyu has an accessory that you can put the bullets underneath here. You can carry 6 bullets, which is super convenient because one of the biggest mistakes people sometimes make is they have 3 bullets inside the magazine or 1 in the chamber, and they keep the bullets on the backpack or something. And when you crawl, you leave the backpack, you leave all your stuff. And when you need those bullets, they are never handy, or you may have them on the pocket and you need to stand up or something. And here on the bino harness, the binoculars is something that I never leave. Even if I go to the toilet, I have the binoculars on, you never know. And it's a very convenient way to carry the ammunition.
Nice work, Pedro, and great video quality as usual. Out of interest, which pack were you using to pack out the stack in this video? Garth, Brighton.
So we were using the Kuyu Icon Pro 3600 or 3200. I don't remember exactly the volume, but the thing about the Kuyu packs is that you put the meat between the frame and the bag. So actually the volume of the bag doesn't matter. You could be wearing a super small pack because all the meat is gonna be outside of the bag. So super convenient. And since we were deboning the meat on the field, it was very easy. Well, very heavy to carry, but everything fit very well.
Mariano Luongo asked if when you get to the place where the weather is different than the temperature, do you set up your rifle again?
So, yes and no. So if I set the rifle at home, when I put and you can see it on the behind the scenes, I will consider when adjusting the ballistic tower setup through the Swarovski app, I will adjust according to the conditions and the temperature I think I'm going to be hunting, the elevation and all that. But I don't readjust it on the field because many times you don't have. If I travel internationally and there's going to be a big difference and maybe there is like a big trouble on a plane or something that the rifle have got a chance to move, yes, I definitely try the rifles before the hunt.
Kavistani asks how you prepare a hunting day from scratch, how to choose the correct hunting or ORGNA.
Outfitter. So how to choose the right outfitter. I think today with internet you have good information. I mean, you have enough information to ask for references. I like to ask for reference for the outfitter, and I like to talk to the outfitter so he understands the needs. Sometimes the outfitter is not good or bad. Sometimes we are the ones that haven't shared with the outfitter enough information to let them know what we want. Some people want a big trophy. Some people want an easy hunt. Some wants the adventure. Some focus on the experience. So it's important to make sure that the outfitter can offer what you are looking for.
Oscar MFB is the Sbarro Z8i 2.3 1856, I don't know how to read that, in combination with the 404 a good package?
I think it has proved to work a lot of times. So I'm really, really happy with the combination, and I have used it on a wide range of hunts.
Another one in the same. What do you think of that, the 404, and what caliber would you recommend for Austrian game?
So the calibers, we could be talking here for ages because everyone has their own thoughts. I like the 270 Win. I have used it for a wide range of things, probably for bigger stacks, 300 mag. It's stronger and has more power, but I don't like the kick. And I hunt everything from roe deer to chamois to stacks with the 270, and with the proper bullet and the proper cartridge and the proper shot location, I think it worked really well. So.
And which is your favorite gun when hunting? Stacked, I mean, except for the bow.
I think both guns that we used, at the end you need to like your gun, and I like to use it for all. So I don't have a specific gun for stacks or a specific. Probably the scope is the only thing that I will change, because the stack you are going to shoot with very low light, so you want a wider entrance of light. And in comparison to when you are hunting chamois, that you can probably go with a narrower exit.
G. Valderrama asks, how do you rest for a longer shot, like the one you did?
So I think in order to take a good shot, you need like three points of contact. So on the front, either on the backpack or on a good bipod, and on the back, you need to have stable elbows, and you need to figure out how to have those elbows steady. If you have one floating elbow, you are in trouble. So take your time and make sure to practice at home, to read the terrain, to find the proper shooting place, and to get yourself solid.
Pete Gonzalez, do you have to shoot lead free? Which I don't mean.
No, we don't need to shoot lead free here.
Quad 4 GTC moderators, sound suppressors, are used in many European countries. Are they not allowed in Spain? Do you use hearing protection while hunting?
In Spain, by law, the suppressors are forbidden, which I think it's not that doesn't make sense. I think the reason for it is because of poaching, but poachers already have them, and it has all type of advantages. It has less recoil, more precise gun, and it helps your hearing. So we try to use ear protection as much as we can, but sometimes you forget it. So I hope that one day they change and it follows the rest of European countries that allows them so.
Can you tell us about the song you and your dad sang? The 100-Proof Texan.
So the Butardol, which is a song that my dad and I sing every time we have like a honest and pure harvest, is something that my dad got from the guy that introduced him into hunting. And it's a song that they were singing together, and it's something that has been a family tradition since then. But the honest thing is that we don't know what language is it, what does it mean, and where does it come from. And I think it will be amazing. And I was thinking on putting a video or something. That it would be amazing if someone could throw some light into this, because we don't know where it comes from, and I think it has some part of English and some part of maybe German or Spanish, because it's like Butardol, smoking, so that sounds like English. Ball is speaking, like, I think at some point it made sense, but through generations it has lost completely the meaning, and we don't know where it comes from. And the guy that introduced my dad, it's already passed away, so if anyone, please, have a remote idea of something that makes sense for them, I would love to hear about it.
Juan RVT 918, did you see any wolves on your trip?
Yeah, we saw wolves in Palencia. We had attack, but when we saw it, we didn't have any weapon with us, so we were not able to take the opportunity. But we did see wolves, which was pretty cool.
Aaroncito 23, any trophy you hunted was a medal? A trophy?
I haven't measured the stags. I need to, but I think we had maybe one. I mean, we have one from Zamora and León. We saw on this whole series, we saw two really big stags, and we saw the biggest stag I have ever shot. So can't wait to share that footage with you guys, because it was pretty awesome. Okay, so giveaway time.
Yeah.
Are we ready for the giveaway? So the giveaway for this chapter, Hornady is gonna give 500 euros in Hornady ammunition, and instead of making one package of 500 euros, which will be a lot of ammunition for one guy, what we have decided to do is to give 5 gift cards of Hornady ammunition. Just to enter, you had to comment on the episode of chapter 2 and also on the behind the scenes, and we have picked a list of winners, for 4 winners from each video. And we are going to pick the 5 winners from those. There were 3 videos, 4 winners, which makes to 4 per 3, 12 finalists that we're going to pick 5 winners out of these 12 guys. It's 500 euros in 100 euros in ammunition. And in case by any chance you are a winner and you are in a country that doesn't have a Hornady dealer, which ammunition cannot be like we cannot send you the ammunition. We will exchange those €100 to like Hornady gear, the Hornady that they make, the license-free gear. So you will still get something. The finalists of this giveaway are Lucas, Andrés A, Fabián Calvo, Iván Ortega, Christopher Carr, Piri González, Bike Hunter, Le Réfugié de Chasseurs. My French is getting better. Robin, Ángel Cienfuegos, Diego Soria, and Javier Iriondo. And we have put all these finalists here in this, and Victoria is gonna pick 5 winners and a couple extra just in case some of you guys are not subscribed or never answer to our emails or something. We'll pick 2 extra just in case. So Victoria is picking the winner. By the way, is there any of the finalists there on the live right now?
Yeah, PD González it was there.
And Robin, no? You mentioned Robin at some point or not?
Yeah, but...
Okay.
Who's the winner?
So, the first winner, €100 in Hornady ammunition, go to France, to Le Réfugié de Chasseurs. How do you pronounce that?
Le Refuge des Chasseurs.
Le Refuge des Chasseurs. I don't know if it's there or not, but good for you. Second winner, it's to Lucas. Probably there are many Lucas there. We have
I have the comment.
Yeah, we have the screenshot with the comment of the specific Lucas that won also a gift card.
It was from the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third winner, Andrés A. Andrés A. Third winner. Low battery. Big.
Okay.
Dale,
Okay.
pero es que no ven.
Sorry
that
low battery.
it paused because I have a low battery. Bike Hunter also. Please send us a message. Try to contact us through Instagram or something.
We will contact them too.
We will contact you guys too, but just in case. And the fifth winner is Christopher Carr. Christopher Carr, I don't know where you're from, but congratulations. So we have Le Refuge de Chasseurs, Lucas, Andrés A, Bike Hunter, and Christopher Carr. Please contact us. We'll give you the €100 gift card, and we're going to pick 2 extra winners. Coge dos directamente. Just in case one of those never answer us or they don't want the ammunition or something, which will be Robin and also Fabián Calvo. So you guys are extra next on the league. First Robin and then Fabián. So congratulations everyone. Thanks everyone for commenting and supporting the project. I'm going to announce for Chapter 3 new giveaway. The giveaway is going to be from Spartan Precision Equipment. They do awesome gear from bipods to tripods to monopods to everything that has legs, and they are an awesome company. Make sure to follow what they do because they are really nice designing equipment, and they're gonna give Javelin a Pro Hunt bipod. This is the new type of bipod that they come out with, which I'm completely in love. It has the 2 positions. It has also here that you can put it this way, and it's like rock solid. You can put it the other way, and it will allow some movement. You can also lock the legs, so when they open, it just completely locks the bipod. So it's super solid. And finally, the new thing about this model is the legs, that they have a spring, and you don't have to be twisting the leg up or down. It's just a button here with a spring, and it's really nice. And when you have both deployed, you can easily adjust the length of each leg to adjust to the different level of the terrain. So ultralight bipod, if you want to win it, make sure to follow Spartan Precision on their social media accounts, subscribe to our YouTube, and comment on any of the videos from Zamora, the Chapter 3, which are going to be 3 new videos. That the first one is going to be released in an hour, and we will also share a couple of behind-the-scenes videos. So stay tuned, comment on all the videos, like, share, and all that. It will help us a lot. And also show some love for the companies that are supporting this project and that has made this project possible. And that being said, I think that's a wrap for...
Somebody is asking about the knife giveaway from Sauer.
Yeah, that's for a different chapter. We stay tuned because each chapter, there's 6 chapters, 6 main sponsors of the project, and each chapter will have their own giveaway.
Do you want to answer any?
I don't know if there is any further questions related to Chapter 2.
About the longer shots and how do you feel about them?
Yeah, so what's the question?
I lost it.
So someone asked about how we feel about the longer shots and what we think about far distances shots. I think everyone understands hunting different. On our opinion, I think it's a matter of a bit of attitude. So we always try to get as close as possible. And if we have to make a longer shot, it's because we don't have any other way. We never look for making a longer shot. And for us, a longer shot, for someone, depending on the equipment and your experience, a longer shot for someone can be 100 meters or it can be 500. That's a personal preference. It's super important that you enjoy hunting. But for us, we value more than the shot, the whole experience and the stacks. It's all about getting as close as possible. It's true that on these mountain hunts, sometimes you cannot get closer, and especially with the challenge that we are, my dad, 2 camera guys, 2 guides, myself on Gredos, we were 6 guys. So it's not, if you want to document the hunt, sometimes it's just impossible. But if we could get 50 meters closer, we will make the most and try to get 50 meters closer and don't try to look for those long shots, because the essence of the hunt is to get as close as possible. But I also understand that sometimes people don't have as much time as we do. They probably may not have the physical conditions, the amount of days. So everyone is different, and the main thing is to respect each other. We are all hunters, and to try to focus on enjoying the hunt. So, all right. Thanks everyone for joining. The new episode is gonna go live right now. I don't know. It's 7 o'clock, so it's go right now. So you can go from this live to my YouTube channel. Enjoy the first episode of Zamora. It's probably Chapter 3, one of my favorite chapters.
The best one.
I loved it. I loved all of them, but Zamora was super wild. And I hope you guys enjoy, and we will see you guys on the next live video next week. I will put it on the comments. I'm not sure which day it is, and to comment also that experience. And thanks everyone for joining. Thank you.